going on
There
in the
is.
world today.
So if we're going to stick with box
That better
office.
be a clip out. Josh loves Downton Abbey.
Yeah. Joker, as we know, is doing very, very well. Terminator, not so much.
Aww.
Terminator
Wah, wah.
opened. Can you believe this? Domestically to 29 million.
Wow. Really?
Okay, now worldwide we get a little bit better, 94.6 for a total of 123.6 million worldwide. However, right now analysts are looking at that it could lose as much as 130 million.
Why do you think that is?
Because
That's
the
crazy.
budget was 185 million.
Woo.
And then you add in marketing, which the marketing, it's everywhere. It's a Terminator movie. It's Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
I did not think for a second.
Josh
Josh
disagrees.
just silent judging.
What happened? What
Nothing. Go. Keep talking.
No, I didn't think a Terminator movie like this, bringing back Linda Hamilton, would bomb as bad as it did. Because I saw it Friday night when opening night. It was full. It was sold out.
You live in Los Angeles, sir.
Thank you. I do. Yeah, good.
November 2019.
But however,
Orlando.
are we going to Orlando?
I don't know. He said Los Angeles. I was just thinking of another place you could possibly live.
Yeah. Selling out, Los Angeles, all that aside, it didn't do very well. Where are we going to not get a Terminator movie? Is this the end?
This is it.
Well, so many different thoughts on this because, first of all, this opened #1 at the box office this
It sure
weekend,
did.
which is
To
wild
nothing.
that this
Sure
opened
did.
Right.
#1 at 29 mil.
Is this just usually a bad box office weekend?
Well, I wouldn't think
after
so
Halloween
because
weekend?
of Halloween. That's
Right.
I would think that this would be a big box office weekend, especially for something like this, where people have been waiting for this. The word of mouth was pretty good going
it's a good
into
Terminator
it,
movie. I really enjoyed it.
and most of the critics are saying something along those lines.
What's our Rotten Tomato score on Dark Fate? Do we know that yet?
I don't know.
Cody, do you want to pull
We're
that
going
up?
to pull that up, Josh.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank
Cody
you,
and
kind
Alex.
sir. So I'm just kind of surprised because I saw this movie. I really enjoyed it. Did I think it was the best movie of all time? No, but it's got a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good.
It's okay.
For this to open this slow, based on, and no spoilers, based on the end of the movie, you can tell that they think that they could have a sequel.
Yep.
You know, we set
it
up
open.
we set up a story that could possibly have another one. And if this movie loses even over 100 million, not 130, Jesus, there's no way that they're coming back for another one.
At least not for a while, because it's just so bizarre. But do you guys think it's because the last two movies were not
Yes.
liked
The
by
last
the real fans,
three
right? Like by actual
movies.
like Terminator
last three
fans,
movies.
right? So then is that
Yes.
why?
Let me tell
then
you.
why is because does that mean it's like Blade Runner is just such a niche franchise that only a certain segment of the population likes
let
it?
me
But
tell
I
you,
think
like,
Terminator's not niche. I
Right.
think so.
So
this
that's why
is
I'm
sequelized.
confused.
Josh, tell me.
Okay, I'm going to break this down for you because I'm usually the common movie going.
But what are you doing with your hands?
I'm breaking down a timeline.
I feel like
okay?
breaking down is more of a right. Like you
This-
gotta, yeah.
Okay.
Break it down for us now.
Break down.
I need a gif of Josh
timeline.
doing this. So that was pretty good.
Nope.
Break it down for us, Josh.
Okay, so here's what it is. Dorina, you hit on it kind of perfectly, right? Is that, okay, the first Terminator was a cult classic. It got crazy word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
And for somebody that my first introduction to the Terminator franchise was Terminator 2 when I was like 10,
Yeah.
9, 10. My parents were fantastic parents letting me see that so early.
I love
Which is
that.
great. Let your kids see action movies early, not the Joker.
I have so many questions on
I'm
that,
kidding.
but we'll get there.
Okay. So then I watched Terminator 2. I went back and watched the Terminator, and I was like, okay, these are awesome. Then we had this huge gap between Terminator 2 and Terminator Rise of the Machines. And when they did the Rise of the Machines, not one person from the original Terminators were in there.
Right.
Not Leon Hamilton, not John Connor, as we knew him as Edward Furlong,
Right.
whatever.
Not Arnold. Yeah.
Not Arnold. You
Well,
had
Arnold was
you had
in it.
Natasha Henstridge.
he?
in
Rise of
Machines.
Machines. He was in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Arnold was not in Rise of the Machines. He was in Salvation.
Arnold was
was
in
in
Rise of Machines.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Was
okay.
he? But he
Anyway.
was it
Guys,
like,
he was in Rise of the Machines.
Sorry,
was
you're
in
right. You're right. Okay, my bad.
Just to
my
be
bad.
clear, I knew that without the
Thanks,
Google
Rick.
search.
But let's
Thanks,
be
Russ.
honest. Let's be honest. Like the sale of Rise of the Machines was not as an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It was as like a Natasha Henstridge blow up, and it was like it just
I
wasn't.
mean, I think it was. I mean, I think
mean,
that's
but-
the only thing they had
Looking
going
at the
for
poster.
them.
but was it
Just-
like Alien
just him.
Resurrection where it's like Sigourney's there
Okay.
most of the time?
Right, right.
Like it wasn't like
Regardless,
that, right?
Josh, continue
okay.
though.
Anyway, so that movie kind of tanked, and then everybody was a little sour. Then you did the Christian Bale one, and it bombed. It was one of the more confusing and not that good Terminator.
We went to
movies.
the
Was that
future.
Genesis?
We went to the
Salvation?
future. No, Salvation was that
Salvation.
one.
Yeah,
and then
get
you
so
went
confused.
Genesis, which bombed.
Yeah.
Which means that the casual movie fan hasn't had a good Terminator in 3
And
movies.
To your point,
Okay.
confusing.
Confusing.
You just didn't know that Schwarzenegger was in part 3.
No, I didn't know. And here's the other thing. So I'm riding with a couple buddies in the car who are not movie people. One's a physical therapist. The other one I just happen to play golf with. I think he works for an airline. I don't know. We're buddies on a golf course.
Okay.
And I was like,
Okay.
you guys going to see that new Terminator movie this weekend? Like, there's another Terminator
There
movie.
it is.
That's the
So
response
they didn't
from
even
the
know.
common movie fan.
Let me ask you guys
No.
this. If there was a movie coming out starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton and Mackenzie Davis, and it was called Robot or
Cyborg.
whatever, do you think it would have done better in the box office than
No.
Terminator?
No, I think it would have done
definitely
worse.
not.
So
Yeah.
you don't think that the name hurt it? You just think it didn't do as well as previous Terminator?
Yeah,
think
maybe
it's-
I don't know if they
you're
should have
just soured
released
on
it on
Terminator.
another date. But then to add to that point though as well, I'm a huge Alien franchise fan, as Mark is as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still going to see, no matter what I think of any of the new ones that have come out, I'm still going to keep
So
watching
you had
new
Prometheus
Alien
and
movies.
then what?
Alien Covenant.
Oh, Covenant,
Right, which
right.
I loved half
But
of it.
bombed, right?
Yeah.
Didn't
but
do very well.
No, but
Alien Covenant.
yes.
Very similar
Everything
to the
with-
numbers here, I would say.
Thanks, Roxy.
Aliens and shit.
Aliens and shit. I'm good with all my sci-fi movies.
But here, like for me though, but like the Alien fans
Mm-hmm.
have been soured, and the people that were casual Alien fans don't give a shit.
But I want to keep
Same with
watching
Terminator.
them.
I know you do, but you're a very small minority
Right.
of people. Not because you're from Mexico, but
I was
because
gonna
you
say
like aliens.
Taco trucks
Okay.
on
But
every
because you
corner.
have a vagina. Actually, we're the majority.
There it is, there it
Suck
is.
it.
We're ending the show like 8 different times today.
Cody's trying to look out
Really
for
and truly,
us.
like Prometheus was one of the most boring movies I've ever watched. I couldn't even watch Alien Covenant. 'cause
Of
I
course,
couldn't
but
care.
then you feel that way about Blade Runner. See, I really like Prometheus.
Yeah, I like
I'm
Prometheus a lot.
Going
too.
back to
Again,
Terminator
you
for a
guys are
second,
very
though.
small. You got to
are.
sell movies to people.
I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm totally with you.
I don't disagree. Yeah.
Going back to Terminator for a second, though,
Sorry.
do you guys think if this had gotten a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes, if word of mouth hadn't been, this is the best since T2, and instead had just been, this is a bomb movie, everybody should go see it, would this have done better at the box office?
I think a little bit. I think it goes
Like
to your
5
point.
more mil.
I don't think it would have moved the needle that much more. Maybe a 40 million.
Well, I also have a question marketing-wise because we keep seeing things about this movie because we work in this space, right? But I'm curious to just a casual moviegoer how much marketing they've actually received, right? Whether
it
it's
just
TV
looks the
or
same as all the other Terminator movies to
Right.
the casual fan. Like my mom and my dad said, Dad's like, I don't know, Terminator 2 was awesome.
Yeah.
What does he need to see Terminator Dark Fate? It looks the exact same.
I
Just
mean,
with
Terminator
better...
2 is awesome.
we're-
Terminator 2 is the best.
It's so good.
We're doing a trend here
sorry
in
for
movies
yelling.
now, right? Halloween comes out last year, 2018. We're ignoring all the sequels. Jamie Lee Curtis is back. But that's a
Retcon.
horror movie during Halloween. Everybody can kind of go see it. That thing opened to like 70 million or something like that. So perfect timing, right? Halloween. This one, I think, to your point, I think it really is your point. What the hell is going on? There's another one?
Or maybe it is.
They
Maybe
keep
it is the
avoiding the apocalypse, but how?
Now it's like, no, we're forgetting all those other Terminator movies, and it takes place after T2. So this is a direct sequel to T2. Well, then people are like, well,
Wash.
what about Rise of the Machines?
Wash.
Well, what about Salvation? Well, what about Jenny Smith? Like all these different things that people are confused about.
I don't know. I'm
like
curious
the-
if it come out in at another time of the year that it might have been more successful. What were you going
What
to
do
say?
you
It's
Roxy?
think?
like Josh McCouga's new slogan: "Wash,
Wash.
wash, wash,
Oh, yeah.
wash."
Wash.
Somebody get
Wash Makuga over here.
Yeah, and Fandango's like, fuck it, we've moved on. Frozen 2 tickets are on sale. I literally just got the announcement. It's like, oh yeah, Terminator 2 bombed. Anyways, here's Frozen 2.
I do think that they probably expected to at least make over 50. I think that this,
I think so, too.
I think this was really, really low for them. Do you guys think, based off this number, there's any way that this movie ultimately ends up being a success and gets a sequel?
Is it released in China yet?
China.
China.
I don't know the answer. We are dangerous.
9.
No, that's
territory.
what
how I said
I
it.
actually just making fun of the president. That's
The
why he says it.
president, yes.
Yeah, that's how he says it.
Oh, he's rubbing
Yeah.
off on me. What's happened?
I know. We're all
Oh.
getting like.
I don't know. Has it been
Brainwashed.
released in China?
me see.
It said internationally,
Internationally,
it made
yeah.
123.
Have you seen the new Box Office Mojo? It really sucks.
So no,
It's
I guess
so hard
I
to
guess it
navigate.
hasn't been in
me
China
see.
because it looks like I'm looking behind you, Riley.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it looks like with the domestic at 29 and worldwide at 123, China doesn't have a number, which makes me think no. So maybe
Well,
that will help.
are they going to block the release? for whatever reason.
I don't know. They tend to do that. But do you
Sometimes they
think,
do, but-
regardless, China in, China out, do you think that it's possible that this movie does well enough that they do greenlight a sequel?
I think this is the end of the Terminator franchise for the foreseeable
for a
future.
long time. I agree with Josh, which makes me sad because it sucks that similar to what Riley said about Jamie Lee Curtis coming back to the Halloween franchise. Like I was really looking forward to Linda Hamilton coming back to this franchise, right? And
Yeah.
then
She was
having more
phenomenal.
movies with her.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what does this say? China box office, Terminator Dark Fate self-destructs, opening in China, opening in second place.
Ooh, in China.
Yikes.
Chinese filmgoers
Okay.
rescued the last Terminator film, Terminator Genesis, with local ticket sales totaling 113 million. Tim Miller's new installment is getting no such boost, however.
Yowza.
So looks like
But I will tell you
a
what.
no-go for a high.